Brunswick. My name is Skip Mounts. I'm the Dean of the School of Business at the college. I'm glad you all are here. There is coffee over there. 1 Million Cups is an educational program developed by the Hoffman Foundation of Kansas City. Its purpose is to engage, encourage, and support entrepreneurs, and to help create a network of entrepreneurs and a network of supportive mentors. Today we will have 2 entrepreneurs. I can talk about that in a minute. And they will talk about their challenges, businesses, and the successes. This will then be followed by you all asking questions. And then we'll take a brief break between the presenters. Our goal is very simple: to have creative people talk to other creative people in hopes that this conversation encourages them to follow their creativity so as to enhance the diversity and vibrancy of our economy. We always at this time thank our host, Susan Bates of Tipsy McSway. In 2 weeks, this will be her 7th anniversary down here. She and the mafia in the back corner of Jennifer's video back in the corner there will ultimately be the historic ones that have converted downtown Brunswick into a viable place that has a business. So thank you very much. We also do not talk about politics, but there is a petition on the other side of the coffee urn, if you're so inclined, opposing a 3% poor tax on bars and drinks. If you're interested in signing that, it's there for your perusal. How was that, Susan?
Thank you.
We're always looking for ways to get the word out, so please, if you haven't friended us on Facebook, please do. Follow, like us, or do whatever you do. There is a pad on the bar for a listserv if you'd like to be bothered by me. There is also a pad that says students. For points, you got to sign the pad. It says students at the top, so please sign your name at the top of that. New folks today, including students, please raise your hands. So if I know some of you are students, I see you all the time. Good, good, good. Glad you all are here. Glad you all are here. If you know anyone who would like to present at 1 Million Cups, please send them my way. A couple of months ago, we introduced Dr. Michelle Johnson, the new president of the college. She's extraordinarily supportive of what we do. I'd like to introduce our new Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Johnny Evans. And I'd just like to have him come up and say a few words.
Thank you. I keep getting asked, oh, so you're Kay's replacement. You're taking Kay's job. I don't know. I've learned a lot about Kay Anthony, and she's amazing. So I don't know that I can take her job, but I'm going to try to do the job. I am glad to be here. Coastal's a great place to be, but organizations like this are what we want to see our students end up doing. We teach a lot of theory. We teach a lot of book stuff. We teach a lot of skills as well at the college in real life application. But in the end, we don't want them just to get that degree, that piece of paper. We want them to go out and do something significant. And so what this is about today is the evidence of all of that hard work that builds up to doing something significant, starting a business, being an entrepreneur, changing the community. And so we completely support this from the college and are glad to be a part of it. So I'm glad to be here today and get to listen and learn about what's going on in the community. So thank you guys. Yeah.
My immediate supervisor, and so it's helpful if I know that he's around. And I can tell because he has the nastiest pickup truck in the Golden Isles. I am safe to say it is absolutely awful. So I'm glad you're here. Also, our second presenter called me last night at 11 o'clock, and if he came today, we would all be infected. He sounded terrible, so I'm doing you a favor because I love you. But that's time for a spontaneous entrepreneur. Now remember, we have talked about types of entrepreneurs. These are regular, normal people who get up and have a business and talk about their experience and so on and so on and so on. And there is the hopeful entrepreneur who gets up, they aren't doing the business yet, but they sort of have a business plan, they sort of have an idea, and they know that everything is going to be perfect. So they're hopeful. But then we have this spontaneous entrepreneur, and this is someone who is here today who did not anticipate presenting, but who can present in our second half. One of the problems is if I know you, I might ask if you'd like to come up. But if you have the slightest interest to be a spontaneous entrepreneur today, you are certainly welcome to and talk to me at halftime. So good. If not, we'll just call it brief today. So I'm glad you all are here. Our first presenter is Donna MacPherson of Golden Isles Olive Oil.
Attendance of a million cups, and I had no idea there was so much going on here. This is great. So I'm currently the owner of. I'm going to help you. You have to turn it on. I'm going to help you out. All right, well, let's try this again. I'm not used to talking into a mic. It sounds loud. So anyway, I'm currently the owner of Golden Isles Olive Oil. We have a gourmet market. Just recently opened up a restaurant side. We're doing cooking classes, a wine bar, all kinds of things going on over there. But I know one thing that I was asked to talk about is my journey. Life is a journey, and I've had a lot of experiences. It all began when I first graduated from college. I had an early childhood education degree. So I was teaching kindergarten. I was loving kids, having a good time. Then I had a few of my own. So I did daycare in my home for a number of years until they went off to school. Then I decided I was done with kids for a while. So I went back to school and got my degree, a second degree in environmental design and space planning. My dad was a general contractor, and he was always looking for ways to make concrete more attractive. And so I developed a form liner system. In essence, I was creating molds for contractors to line their formwork with, to create design and texture in their finished walls. So I did that for 16 years, developed a business, worked all over the US, Canada, Puerto Rico, and it's kind of fun because I can go back to these cities now. It's like having my signature all around. So that's pretty cool. And that experience led me to some really amazing people and projects. I was called in as a concrete texturing specialist to the Pentagon after 9/11. That was a very humbling experience because I was there 1 week later and it was still smoldering, and to see these beams just crushed, it was crazy. But it was an honor to be called in, and I developed a system and helped rebuild the Pentagon. So, and then another great experience was with Jimmy Carter. One day I got a phone call. And he says, "Hey, Dawn, this is Jimmy Carter." I'm like, "Yeah, right." But he was doing a community upgrade project in Plains, and he wanted stamped concrete, which is different than the walls, but I was going to jump on that opportunity. One thing my dad always told me is there's things in life you shouldn't miss, and that's opportunity. So from early childhood education to a concrete specialist to working with President Carter. And I was down there for about 6 weeks, working side by side, and I learned so much about the impact that the Carters have around the world. Mrs. Carter kind of took me under her wing there. She just thought it was cool that I was a woman in construction, so we bonded, and then what happened next? I sold my company, and my kids went off to college, and I was in California at the time, and I was ready for a change. So I was having lunch with Mrs. Carter, and she said, why don't you come work with me at the Rosen Carter Institute? So from California, I moved to Atlanta. I already had a circle of friends there because I had an office there when I was doing construction. So it was an easy transition, and it was fun to change it up. So working at the Carter Center really makes you a citizen of the world. And her cause is all about mental health and caregiving, which I was passionate about. So that was an amazing experience. And I worked there for about 4 years. And then I moved to St. Simon's Island. So that was in 2012. I was happily retired. I was sitting on the beach. I was doing my photography. I'm also a professional photographer. So that's when I got to foster that creative side of me. I've won many awards for my photography. I've had many exhibits, and I was just cruising along, loving life. And then I had another opportunity to buy Golden Isles olive oil. I'd never done retail before, but I thought, okay, this could be fun. As part of my photography, I was doing food photography too. So I met a lot of chefs. I was interested in food and wine and all that stuff. So I thought, all right, I'll do it. After 4 years of being retired, I thought I was ready to do something different. So that's been quite a journey. Learning retail, getting the right employees in place, inventory control. There's so many things I had no idea what I was doing, but you figure it out as you go. Then, if that wasn't enough, Davis Love moved out in the unit next door to me. And I always wanted a cooking school to be able to foster all the products that we have in Golden Isles olive oil. So I jumped on it, and I built a commercial kitchen. Then I decided really my goal in the beginning was just cooking classes and teaching people demonstrations, teaching people about food. And then I thought, well, women like to drink wine while they're cooking, so I got my wine license. Then all of a sudden, everyone on the island's like, oh, a wine bar, yay! And I'm like, okay, we'll be a wine bar too. So along with that license, you have to serve food if you're serving wine. So then I became a little cafe kind of restaurant. All this just evolved, and I just let it happen naturally. I listened to the community. I'm a big supporter of the community, and I believe if you support them, they support you back. So that took me to where I am now. From 1992 to 96, I raced offshore powerboats at a 38-foot fountain, which was 900 horsepower, and I won every race. So I was High Point Champions 4 years in a row in offshore. That was crazy days. I would not do it again, but I did it, and it was fun. It was pretty exhilarating. I don't know what else to say or how much time you want me to fill up. Any questions about anything?
Good. We now have another boring person from St. Simon's with no background at all. So, any questions? Where's your location?
We're in Redfern Village, right across from Bubba Garcia's, in kind of Mid-Island St. Simon's. And we have a lot going on there. We have guest chefs, all kinds of cooking classes. We're doing demonstrations all the time. Our lunch is fantastic. Cheese and wine in the afternoon. So hopefully you'll come by and say hello.
What's the biggest mistake you made when you started this new venture in the retail side?
The biggest He asked what was the biggest mistake I made in purchasing Golden Isles olive oil. I think not having a background in it, but I don't know that I call it a mistake, it's just a learning process. Finding loyal people is really challenging. Try to think about mistakes. Maybe over ordering inventory in the beginning. I had to learn how to manage that. But other than that, we just do what we do. Make it happen every day. Yes?
You've done a very good job of creating interesting things like caroling during the holidays or cooking classes
I don't stop, I don't sleep. They're just always in my head. And there's so many things that I still want to do, but I can't do everything. So another mistake would probably be not finding a right balance, life-work balance, because it's also consuming, because it's also new, because I've had to learn all of this. I didn't know retail. I certainly didn't know the restaurant business. And holy mackerel, that's been crazy. But I guess I have a creative mind, and I'm always thinking of what would be fun for me to do, right? And so I figured if I like it, other people will like it too, and so far the response has been really good.
I have a book recommendation.
Yes.
That the doctor suggests. Set the Table.
I'm sorry, you have a book recommendation?
Yeah, the title is Set the Table.
Set the Table. Oh, okay.
And the doctor tells the classes that's a good book to read.
I'll check it out. Thanks.
Can you tell them how to get to your cooking classes, where you can find that?
Yeah, all our cooking classes and events are listed on our website under the events tab. So you can see what's going on any day. We have some free events, some are paid events. I mean, really interesting chefs, because we're always learning from each other. And everybody has something different to offer. We have a pasta making class this Friday night, and you can see them all on the web. Yes.
So what I've noticed about your evolution and growth is that you have a real solid knack for marketing. What do you think is your biggest weak spot when it comes to looking at growth? And what do you do about it?
A weak spot is the management side of it. I still am figuring it out. Like I said, retail and restaurant are two totally different things, and I'm trying to manage both of those. Finding the right people again is key.
Are you meeting or exceeding your original expectations when you bought olive oil?
I'm exceeding that. It was a sleepy little store, and that's why my friend who approached me wanted to sell it. She just wasn't a front person. She knew my personality could take it and run with it. So I grew 40% in my first year in retail. That's a big markup. But that's because I'm putting myself out there, the social media, posting every day, Facebook, Instagram. People see those things. Like we're having a lunch special, and they come in because they want what we're posting. So I do believe in the power of social media for sure. Yes.
What is your social media on Instagram? What's your
Golden Mouse Olive Oil. Facebook and Instagram. Yes.
So you brought up quite a few times about how hard it was to find the right people. So how did you kind of narrow it down? What did you learn to look for in prospective employees and management as you went on?
Cleanliness is one. You can't believe how many people come in and just all raggedy. And I have a storefront that I want to present.
So me.
Yeah. but I have a storefront and a restaurant that I want to present an image. And so, if I got people with dirty fingernails and ratty clothes, that's not presenting what I want. So that is key in finding the right person. And you can pretty much be the judge of people just through a conversation with them. Of course, their background and experience is helpful. And then, it's trial and error. You think someone's going to be great, and they don't work out. And all of a sudden, you find out they're taking things from you. Theft is a problem. Using my UPS account for shipping their stuff out, not paying. I mean, there's all these little things that you have to be watching for that I didn't expect. I'm just such a naturally trusting person. I'm like appalled when I find this stuff out, but it happens. So it is important to pay attention to someone's background as well. Yes?
What do you see yourself doing 5 years from now?
That's a really good question because, like I say, you've seen all the different things I've done. I just kind of let opportunity lead me. 5 years, I still see growing my business. I haven't made my exit plan yet, but there's days that I seriously think about it. Because I am all consumed. I mean, I'm there 7 in the morning till 8 at night, 7 days a week. So it's exhausting, but I figure I've made a huge investment in this business, and if I don't drive it, nobody else is going to. So I have to be the driving force. Hopefully in 5 years though, I have management in place that I don't have to be there 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, and that would be my ultimate goal, and hopefully that happens within a year. Yes?
I appreciate your drive and your story that you've been telling it to us, but I want to ask, just to see what you're thinking, is retirement actually something you want to do?
Retirement was a good, my 4 years of retirement was good, like clean my head kind of, because you need space like that. So yes, I was happily retired. Do I look forward to it again? Yes, but I also jumped back in the fire because I wanted something else to do. Challenges are important in life. And that's why I filled my retirement years with photography. So couldn't just sit around, but I got to drive my passion and my creative side there.
So we have a group that includes 30 students who are in an entrepreneurship class, some of whom still want to be entrepreneurs, and some have decided after a week of class they don't want anything to do with it. What's the one thing you could tell some of the young people about being an entrepreneur? What's the one lesson you would give them?
Don't give up, and don't be afraid to try new things. You know, you might fail at something, but that's okay because you're learning from it, and you just move on. You put that behind you and you go forward. So, as I keep talking about opportunity, just if you have an opportunity to do something, even if you don't think it's quite where you were headed, try it. You might find out that you love it. So don't be afraid.
I have a question. It seems like that you're successful in everything that you do. Is there something that you tried that you weren't good at? Come on, open up.
I know, I'm trying to think, well, I mean, career-wise, anything I've done career-wise is I have a passion for. So it succeeds because I put everything into it. You know, I'm not good at fishing. I'm not good at, I don't know.
I mean, did you try to be a professional fisherman or fisherwoman?
No, I never have. But that's what I'm saying. So everything that I've put my heart into has been a success because that's it. I put everything into it. You can't just start a business and think it's all going to happen. It doesn't happen unless you drive it. And you have to be passionate about it. I think passion, you know, love what you do. That is a huge part of being successful. Yep.
You are an owner.
Yeah.
People who you hire are hourly wage earners. How do you find to help motivate them, to make them feel as if this is also their business?
Yeah, making them feel, you're right, making your employees feel like they're part of the team. And that I try to get them really excited about what we're doing. When I opened the olive oil store, I had no idea the benefits of olive oil in your health and your daily lifestyle. So I went to Italy and I got my olive oil sommelier certification and I learned about it. So now I educate my people and they're passionate about it, so then they feel like, you know, they know the information to pass forward, and I think that is important too. I don't want just someone there hanging out. I want them to love what they're doing. So I try to make it a fun environment to work in. We're always learning, and definitely need to be a people person in my business. Yes.
So I watch a lot of leadership, and there's a guy named Simon Sinek, and he says people don't want to know what you do, but why you do it. And so, what would be your why?
My why for Golden Isles Olive Oil at this point is to promote healthy eating and healthy lifestyle. And we are proof that eating healthy doesn't have to be boring anymore. We have over 60 flavors of fused and infused olive oils and balsamics, and we can make a marinade for any dish you're cooking, roasted vegetables, salad dressings, whatever. So my why is because I love people and I love passing forward knowledge. So, and I get a great response to it, so it feels good. I get people now, I get repeat customers, and they do not go back to grocery store olive oil because there's a difference, and you can taste the difference. So I invite you to come down to our store and see what we got going
I
on.
live 2 streets over.
Well, come on in. All right.
Right, final question, or Tom?
Do you solicit feedback from your employees and your customers?
Oh,
They
yeah.
give you some good ideas?
I'm always listening to the customers. So yeah, soliciting ideas. I always encourage my staff to write down people and comments so that I can go back and see. If we don't have a certain spice or we have, they want us to carry it, I'll research it and I'll bring it in. Yep.
So you mentioned some employees stealing things or doing some unethical things. How do you handle that?
You have to have a talk, you have to put it in writing, you have a little talk with them, let them know you're aware of what's going on, and if it happens again, that they're gone, but they're given fair warning too.
Okay, and one more question? Here we go.
Yes.
Mike?
Talk about entrepreneurship and work-life balance. Is it possible to be an entrepreneur and to have a family? Or is it something that you should do when you're young, before you have a family, or after your family's grown?
Well, without a family, it's easier because then you can put all your focus in there, but that's not real life too. I would say as a young person before your family, yeah, find your passion and start working that. Once you do have a family, that makes it tougher. But hopefully you can get them involved. My children are gone and raised, so this business I can put everything into.
Good. Good. Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
And